this video is on how to repair Beomaster 6000, 8000 and I think all the tape decks that look kind of similar to this, 8000 tape decks, Beocords, where your display goes. Now unfortunately this side of the display is absolutely fine, so I'm just going to leave that alone because why fix it if it ain't broke. But I've lost a couple of segments on this side. Just cycle through some of these stations. Number 2, you can see that I'm missing those 2, but the rest of them appear to be there. So it's just going to show you how to repair these displays. Now the astute of you might have noticed that this looks a bit weird. You shouldn't be able to see all the electronic components. It's because I've already removed this bit as part of my investigation, and I didn't want to risk putting it back in and taking it back out. It just comes out with clips. Dead easy, it takes seconds. But I'll show you how to get into the actual unit, because that is a bit confusing. You have to push down on this just a little and slide it across. It's a bit like getting into one of those puzzle boxes. And then you can lift this glass, then you'll stop seeing reflections of me in the ceiling, which is quite nice. And you can get rid of that, that moves it out of the way. That gives you access to this top side of the displays. The other thing you need to do is loosen these nuts here, so the top is loose. Obviously make sure it's unplugged. Yours might have these plastic covers. Mine's got one of them. I guess they're kind of rare and they probably get lost. You don't really need them, but if you have them, obviously keep them. They just slot over the nut. So the bolt end just here. Once you've got this loose, you just simply lift it open, a bit like a car bonnet, and it will just kind of sit there open. You've got access to all the boards. It's best to make sure you leave it unplugged for 20 minutes or so at least, and pay particular attention not to touch anything around here or this large capacitor here. Just try and keep your hands out of this bit because that's where all the power is. The power amp's actually back here, and I have already done the Q current trimmers and the capacitors inside here. So this unit's quite good. The only thing I need to sort out is the displays. Decided to put some blue roll there just to catch any loose bits of solder. I just desoldered it using a solder sucker. Quite easy, very fast. It didn't take me too long to do. Okay, so to get into here, you have to cut these little circles off, which seems a bit destructive, but sorry about the nails, been mechanicking, I'm afraid. Lost a little filter in there not to lose, like a diffuser. You also have to remove these white circles. There they are, the tiny, tiny, tiny LEDs. They are so tiny. Okay, so what I've done is replaced everything actually. I've decided to just replace everything around the 8, and I'll also do the T and the P. And I'll just show you the results. So it's got a common live, which is this pin here. And then everything else is off that pin, grounded. Now obviously it's really difficult to show you how I've done this, but I'll try to walk you through it because it's worthwhile. I've got these LEDs, I probably should have said earlier, no, probably will. They are 0603 surface mount. Apparently there's a green arrow on the underside which indicates negative. It's so tiny I can hardly see it, so what I've basically done is just I'll check which way the polarity is with some leads, with some power. The first thing you've got to do, which feels a bit drastic, is to scrape off the old LED. There you go, that's got rid of them. It's as simple as that, and I don't even know where they've gone. They're so tiny. So I've got this this new LED to replace it, and apparently there is a green arrow on the underside. Whether or not it will focus, no it won't. They are unbelievably tiny. Okay, so I'll just test by putting the power under each side. So I know the live is on the left-hand side of this one. So again, they've got a common live, which runs through this pin here, this first pin. And the live is on this one, and that one. So the live wants to be on this side, this right-hand side. So currently this might be the wrong way around. Just double check. Yeah, the live's on the left, so I need to flip that around. But the absolute first thing I'll do is just dab a bit of solder on here. You want it to be as thin and small as possible, so use a really hot iron. And I'm just going to place this on here. It's really, really tricky to place it. Just going to test which way around it is again and make sure it's the right way around. Nope. There we go. So it needs to be, whoop, yeah, that way around, isn't it? Live on the left, that's perfect. So I'm going to try and position it roughly where it needs to be. The more central you can get it, the better, but if it's not absolutely perfect, it doesn't matter. There's a good chance the soldering iron will want to pull it anyway when you solder it, so like that. This may or may not work. Let's see. Let's wait for that to flash off. Nope. So I just need to desolder that side and move it across a bit. Let's try there. Got success there. So hopefully if I put my common live on here and then ground this pin, that should light up, which is what I want. Obviously you've got to repeat that for the rest of it, but it's as simple as that. Just a bit fiddly, but anyone can do it. Okay, so this is the final result with the screen back on and the filter in. I think it looks pretty good. Just checking all the segments still work. Yeah, that's all of them. I think it looks pretty good. It's a bit brighter than the original, but I might change the other display as well to match, or I could probably put some sort of filter inside here. That might work as well. If you made it this far, drop a like, subscribe, add a comment. It really means a lot and keeps me motivated in doing these videos. Okay, so that's the new look. You can see it's way brighter than the original LEDs, but I quite like the bright look, so I might actually consider replacing all of them for that, you know. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'm quite happy with the displays for now, but the next thing I want to do is try and fix this light bulb situation. What I'm going to do is, since these bulbs need to change brightness, I'm going to transfer this bulb into here to leave the original incandescent bulbs in there and then change these to LEDs. This wire here has actually come off this one, so that's why it's not working. So hopefully putting this bulb in to here should make that work. Now, what I'm going to just see is just which way around the polarity is of these. Okay, so the positive is on the left of that. I think the other way around for this one, the positive is on the right for that. Okay, this is running at 6 volts currently, and with the 330 ohm resistor. always put the LEDs in this way around. The longer leg is the positive, and remember that because you need slightly more material to make a plus sign than a negative sign, i.e. you need 1 bit for that and positive needs 2 bits. So I'm going to replace both of those in there with this resistor and this LED, and I'll show you when I've done. Right, unfortunately all of these bulbs were just so fragile that when I removed them they broke. But the LED seems to work, so that's good. I might just tidy it up a bit so it looks a bit neater, but I reckon that will illuminate it nicely. And the display seems to work, so that's also ideal. Pretty happy with that. So just reinstall the plastic moulding back in with the clips, putting everything back in the same order you took it off. And then finally, of course, just reinstalling the glass on the front. And one final test again, just to make sure that it all still works. So in the end I decided I wasn't quite happy with the brightness of this display. I thought it was too bright. So I went and ordered a range of coloured acetate sheets to see if any of these overlays would work. Alright, let's just see. How does these two stick together? Let's now the blue does take quite a bit out of it. What about the blue? So a couple of sheets of blue. You're getting into the right sort of colour with that. It doesn't quite look it on camera, but it's really a lot closer to the original colour. So maybe putting a few of these inside this display between the filter and this plastic might be what I'm after. So I've literally made a couple of these blue pieces which I'll just slot into here to mute the display down a bit with a filter, and then just see how that looks. It's getting there, and I reckon just a third piece might make it absolutely perfect. So on video this looks a fair bit pinker than this one, but in reality they really do look pretty close to my eye. I don't think there'd be much difference. I can't see much difference in the flesh. Anyway, the camera seems to be picking up more of a difference than you can see visually. So I'm quite happy with that. It's pretty close. Brilliant, a much improved result. Hope this video has been useful to someone, and hopefully it can help you get yours fixed. And if you need any advice, just drop a comment or that kind of thing. Like, subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching. And just a special thanks to Rudy at Beolover. He has a fantastic website where he shows lots of ways of repairing Bang & Olufsen. I've definitely used his advice many times from his blogs and looked at his website many times. It's a really good resource, and really the method that I've used is the method that he has suggested, but just I've put it into a video form. So check out his website, it's really fantastic.